I am sleepy. So in the evenings between 6 and 8, half 6 and 8, I usually take a nap. But today I didn't take a nap because I got a phone call. And the phone call, we'll call it a blessing because it is what informed the conversation for tonight's live. So I'm glad I got to have the conversation. But now I'm exhausted. And I feel like in this moment is I wish I still drank alcohol so that I could take a shot or something because I am so low energy. I'm so low energy. And we're 1 minute in, so I'm just gonna get into the live. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining my live, my everyday live, my 365 days challenge live. My name is Dipuka Molebore. On this platform, I go by the name Barbs because I prefer Dipuka, plain and simple. So if you see me in the streets, call me Dipuka, but if you're looking for me on social media, the name is Barbs. So the topic of discussion this evening is that your faith must be stronger than your fear of man. That is the topic of discussion. I'm gonna say it once again. Your faith must be stronger than your fear of man. I think because we're black and we're African, we get we've heard it since we were younger that um batla ho lawyer, batla ho lawyer, batla ho lawyer. That's how they say it in us in Southern Africa. That's how we say it. But basically, speaking to how people will bewitch you, people will perform whatever in a bid to make your things go south. Basically, that's what it means. That because of people's evil eye, green hearts, is it green eyes? Green eyes. Um, what's gonna happen is that your things, your affairs will go south if you share if you either share good news with those people or they just see how well you're doing online or whatever. So because we grew up hearing all of that people will bewitch you or even how evil the human heart is, we grew up so, or as adults now, we're so skeptical every time we want to share something with our friends or our neighbor, our colleagues, our cousins, a random person. You think once, twice, 3 times before you share anything that's good with this person, with these people. Even if somebody asks you how work is, you feel more inclined to tell this person that no, it sucks or it's just okay, instead of actually being like, yo, it's actually really great. I love my boss. Um, Work is so good. I feel so blessed. Yada 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 yada. And um, I had a conversation this evening with when I say a colleague in industry, we are we are acquainted, well acquainted, and we have each other's contacts and we speak from time to time. And she reached out and she called me today, and I was just like, I was even just confused. I'm like, okay, why is she calling me? I was in my head. I thought, okay, is she trying to get intel from me? Like, what's going on? So I remember when the call came in, I thought twice before even picking it up, right? So then I picked it up and I just decided to just converse with her, and like if when she asked me questions, I just answered honestly. She asked how I've been doing. She asked how my projects have been going. She asked how my clients are, things like that. And I just opened up and I really loved our 50-minute conversation because I learned so much from her in those 50 minutes. Hey, there are people out there who have their lives together. I couldn't believe how mature, not that I know her from before now, like I don't know how she was when she was younger or whatever, but the maturity was just so mind blowing to me because there are a lot of affairs that I don't have in order when it comes to my freelance work and yada 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 yada. So she had her ish together. She has her ish together, and just listening to her, I felt like I was out for coffee with a mentor or something. And after the call, I felt so full and so energetic. And then I asked myself, I was like, Ghana, I almost didn't answer this call. And I almost closed myself to the opportunity or the chance of having such a fruitful conversation. And then I started thinking to myself, this thing of fearing man, this thing of always being skeptical about people or feeling like I can't share things with people, it's fear of man. It's the fear of man that they talk about in the Bible. It's being when you're skeptical about everybody and think that everybody is out to get you, or at any a slight interest in your life, you're just like, I have to close off. That's fear of man, and that doesn't display, or that doesn't depict, am I using the English right, that you have faith in God. And it's so interesting because it made me think of the story of, it's Joseph, right? Guys, well, all baby Christians here, if you're watching this, I should think. But it's the story of Joseph and his brothers who later ended up attempting to kill him because a lot of good things were happening to him. And I remember I once watched a sermon where this particular pastor was talking about how you shouldn't share everything that's good that's happening in your life, because even your own brother might attempt to kill you. So it's interesting. What I'm trying to explain or express is that on one hand, yes, fear of man shows that you do not have faith in God, but on the other hand, you should be very careful sometimes, though. I think it's one of those things where you just have to have a discernment in the moment. You should just trust in God and have faith in God and be like, okay, God, I think God will give you the discernment. You'll just feel it in your bones sometimes, where you'll just feel it in your bones sometimes if it's safe to actually share your good news. Sometimes we're led by the flesh and the desire to brag. And when you feel that in your body, that's when you know that you need to take a step back and you need to you need to keep quiet, because that is usually, situations like those are usually the ones that will land you in situations like what happened to Joseph. So yeah, what I also wanted to share, or the main message of this video this evening, is that don't shut yourself out. Is it out? Or off, or don't bite your tongue in the fear of being bewitched, because God might have been sending a destiny helper to minister to you in that moment. So don't shut your off to the help of destiny helpers, because you are so obsessed with these things that you were taught when you were younger, that hey, evil eye, hey, bewitch, witchcraft, lawyer, all of those things. That's basically the message for this evening, is that don't be overly skeptical about people, but also lead with discernment. You'll feel it in your heart sometimes when it is time to keep quiet and when it is time to share. And if you end in doubt, say a little prayer. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. And I hope that this video was very helpful to you. If you were experiencing something similar, you've been thinking about this a lot, because like I said, as we grow older, so many things are happening in our lives, and sometimes you wonder whether or not you should share. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, and good night. See you guys tomorrow.